Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dear Chiquis, a podcast where listeners send in their questions and I answer them. It could be anything from relationships to my personal life. And today we have a new batch of questions, so let's kick off this episode. Our first question comes from Alejandra.
Hello, Chiquis. I'm a huge fan of yours, and I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to ask you questions. I love this segment of your podcast. And I just wanted to know, I've heard you say in the past that we have to live with intention. And I've also heard Jackie say it too. And I was just wondering what that meant to you and how do you practice that on the daily? Thank you.
Alejandra, I love this question. Thank you so much. I always use that word. I use the word intention, being intentional. And I also use living with intent, which means to me, if always do things with good intention, for instance, okay? It could mean like, for me, I use it every single day. Like I wake up and I have intention, the intention of having a great day, of getting things done, of working out. It's not just, okay, I'm just going to see what happens. You know what I mean? You can have bad intention or you can have good intention. So to me, it's important that every day I'm intentional to send my siblings a message because I love them randomly, or a friend just to check up on her. It's just being intentional is all it really is, but it's very powerful. And it's something that I feel people don't do enough or aren't intentional about. You know what I mean? So I always say this, you can live your life and you can wish people well or you can wish them bad. So why not be intentional in sending them good wishes, good things, good vibes, good energy? You feel me? So thank you so much for asking me that question because I do say it a lot and I feel like I repeat myself a lot on the podcast, but those are things when I repeat myself, it's because I'm very passionate about that certain something. So this just put a freaking smile on my face and it's a beautiful way to start this episode. So Alejandra, thank you so much. I appreciate that. The next question we have comes from Jaclynn, talking about my sister, Jackie.
Hey, Chiquis. First off, I want to say thank you for all that you do and for being such an inspiration. I'm so proud of you. You're killing it. My question for you is, how do you deal with like the haters that comment or come at you about like your body or how you look? I've been dealing with bullying for a while, people talking about how my body looks, saying that I need to lose weight, that I'm ugly, and that I need to lose weight to look pretty. And it's just been taking such a toll on my mental health that I'm kind of at a point where it's just like, I don't know what to do. And I was wondering if you just had any advice on that topic.
Girl, Jaclynn, I feel you. What I tell haters now is they can go suck a big one, a big fat toe, a big fat dirty toe. It's a lot easier said than done because unfortunately there are days, especially as women in our hormones and, you know, our PMS, like there are times for me, it affects me more on certain days than others. So I get you, especially when it comes to our physique, when it comes to our appearance. We live in a society that's like the most important thing. And in reality, it's not. You know, I always say this, beauty comes from within. That's where beauty starts, in your heart. But you have to believe it. Now, are there things that we can do to better our physique, to feel better, working out, all of that stuff? I talk about it all the time. I think, yes, of course, there's always room for improvement. But we also have to understand that those people that say these things are not happy with themselves, because if they were, they would not have time or energy to focus on you. They're focused on you for a reason. There must be something that they love about you. But the first and the most important thing is that you love yourself from within first, that you love who you are, that you love your mind, that you love your heart, that you know your characteristics, that you know your value before anything else, because that's going to radiate from the inside out. Now, it doesn't matter because I've lost about 70 pounds and still people talk crap. They want to say something, but I'm okay with it now because I'm just like, and even then when I was 70 pounds heavier, you guys, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, I still think I'm cute, you know? I was like, but there were times that it hurt my feelings. But now I'm like, you know what? They have an issue with themselves. That's something that they need to work on within themselves. They're just projecting. So keep that in mind. I know, again, it's a lot easier said than done and it hurts our feelings. But little by little, once you like start not giving an F, you're really not going to give an F. You know what I mean? Like the more you practice that. So I hope that helped. I feel like I went around in circles, but I hope all of that I said helped. Our next question comes from Yanci.
Hi, Chiquis. I totally love you and your show and what you're all about. I just wanted to ask, would you be having a big wedding or a small wedding?
Yanci, I like your question. Okay, you guys, these questions are great. I'm loving this. Okay, so I want to have a small big wedding. I want to have a private wedding. I want it to be just people that I absolutely 100% trust. I want to have a civil wedding and I want to have a church wedding as well, like the spiritual blessing one as well. I want both to be very intimate. But when I say intimate, it's not just going to be 20 people because there's a lot of people in my life that are important that I trust. So it's going to be a small, big wedding. Yeah. So anyways, Yanci, thank you so much for your question. Okay, so our next question comes from Dani.
Hola chiquis, no soy muy buena con el inglés, así que te lo mando en español. Yo quisiera saber cómo manejaste o cómo has manejado en toda tu vida la depresión por todas las cosas que has vivido, que por cierto yo sé que han sido muchas y te admiro mucho por eso. ¿Cómo lo has manejado? ¿Qué es lo que te ha ayudado en tus momentos tristes? ¿Qué es lo que te levanta? ¿Y alguna vez intentaste quitarte la vida? Y si sí, ¿cuándo fue? ¿Y qué te ayudó o qué hizo que no lo hicieras? Espero puedas responder mi pregunta. Te amo muchísimo y te mando un beso.
So Dani's asking if I've suffered from depression. She knows that I've gone through quite a bit in my life, and what do I do on a daily basis to feel better about that? You know what I mean? To not let that affect me as much. She's also asking if I've ever attempted suicide as well. So we're going to talk about that. First, I'm going to respond in Spanish, okay? Dani, muchísimas gracias por tu pregunta. Espero que si me estás preguntando, esto es porque solamente quieres saber de mi vida y espero que ojalá no estés pasando por mucha depresión tú, pero sí, he pasado por muchas cosas, pasé momentos de depresión así, pero pesadas, yo creo como 3 veces en mi vida, pero mal, o sea, mal pedo, muy, muy fuertes. Y sí lo pensé quitarme la vida una vez a los 18 años y las últimas veces, porque fueron varias, en como 2 meses, lo pensé yo creo que todos los días, fue en el 2012, en el mes de octubre del 2012, fue cuando lo pensé, te digo, casi todos los días, y fue porque mi mamá y yo no estábamos hablando. Y pues bueno, si no has leído mi libro que se llama Perdón, te lo recomiendo para que sepas ahí los detalles del por qué, pero sí lo he pensado, sí he vivido cosas muy difíciles y lo que me ayuda todos los días es saber que yo sé que la vida es hermosa, que el corazón del mundo es bueno. No todas las personas que están en el mundo son buenas, pero no voy a dejar que esas personas me afecten al punto de que yo me quiera quitar mi propia vida. Obviamente, en esos momentos, cuando lo pensé, era por mi mamá y pues es una persona muy, muy importante en mi vida. Lo sigue siendo. Pero ni mi mamá debe de tener ese poder sobre mí, sobre mi vida, porque Dios es el que me dio la vida. Obviamente mi mamá también, pero en realidad fue Dios el que me quiso aquí, así que yo le debo más a él y es lo que me ayuda a decir, ¿sabes qué? Dios me tiene aquí por alguna razón, tengo que ver cada día como un regalo porque lo es y le debo ser feliz a Dios. O sea, sí, tengo mis momentos donde estoy triste, donde estoy deprimida, donde no me quiero levantar de la cama, pero no dejo que ese día se hagan 2 o 3 o 4. Digo, tengo que ser fuerte, tengo que seguir con la frente en alto. Es mi fe, al fin del día mi fe y mi misión en este mundo, que es lo que me lleva a decir, ok, tengo que ser fuerte, tengo que ser un ejemplo, tengo que ser aquí por mis hermanos. Hay personas que te aman. No sé si tú estás pasando por esto, Dani, pero hay personas que te aman y que te quieren aquí. Y vive por ellos, vive por lo que Dios y porque Dios te tiene aquí. ¿Sí me explico? So you guys, I was just telling Dani that yes, I have had moments of depression and moments where I've wanted to take my own life. The first time was when I was 18. The second times, because I thought about it every single day for 2 months, was in October of 2012. The second time in my life that my mom and I stopped talking, and I was very sad. And if you guys want to know a little bit more about that time in my life, go ahead and read my book, Forgiveness, where I explain in detail. But it was a very difficult time in my life. And I'm telling you, I thought about it every single day. And of course, my mom was a very important person in my life, but she shouldn't even have that power. No one should have that power over our lives to want to take our own life, because at the end of the day, even if my mom gave me life, absolutely. But the reason I'm here is because God gave me life. God wants me to be here. I really, truly believe that. And I owe him more to be happy. And yes, I have sad moments. And yes, I have times when I don't want to get out of bed. But at the end of the day, I owe it to myself. I owe it to God and to the reason why God has me here, which is my calling and my mission. And if I work every single day towards that and I take a step towards it, then the depression is less and less and less. You know what I mean? So that's basically what I was telling Dani. And she wanted to know, what do I do? So it's my faith. At the end of the day, it's my faith, you guys. So that basically concludes this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for your questions. And if you have a question and you'd like me to answer it, it could be about absolutely anything. As you saw, they were asking me about my wedding. They're asking me about so many different things. So you feel free to leave me your question at speakpipe.com/Chiquis and Chill podcast. Okay. And I will gladly answer the question from the bottom of my heart and with like a big sister, basically, you know, or a cousin or a best friend, something, you know. So you guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I love you guys, and I will catch you on the next episode of Dear Chiquis or Chiquis and Chill. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.